Have you ever wondered why a particular product that you've bought in a store or in a market or in a shop, for instance, at a particular price is now triple its price in a more confined place? Like, say, you take your kids to an amusement park, or you go to a mall, or you go to a place where or you go to like a carnival, or you just go for like a festival or something like that, like in a very separate environment. The same product, the same brand, the same thing, the same experience from that product, but for some reason the price is tripled. Or even there are even times when you can be asked to pay times five of the original price just because of the environment where that same product is being sold. Have you ever been in that situation? Yes. Do you know why that happens? Do you know why that happens? Yes, I personally do know why that happens. It is because of this. Your environment can exert value on you. Now, this is going to be quite random just because I was at an event just this past weekend, and the same product I would have bought outside, I was buying it for like five times the price. And I then started thinking about what that meant for career professionals. And that's why I want to talk about the impact that your environment can have on you when it comes to your value and how you turn out. Now, of I am a proponent of focus on what you can control, yeah, and what you can't control just ignore and let life play out from that. I am also of the proponent that you can bring more things under your control, so you can pull more things under your control. I'm going somewhere if you stick with me. Now, this is it. Your environment, the employer you work for, has their own value that stems from their reputation and their ability to deliver their promise to their customers and other stakeholders. They have their own value. You have your own value as a result of the trainings, the skills, the experience that you have been able to pull together over the last couple of years that you have been working. So you have your own value, your environment, your employer has its own value. Now, when you merge both together, there is your employer's value depending on how massive that value is, can exert on you, and as such your own value can times two, times three, times five of what it would naturally be if you were in a different environment. Now, where does control come in all of this? It means that if you want to 10x your value, 5x your value, 3x your value, you can decide as a career professional who you work for and with what organization you work with. You can decide that. So you can pull that under your control such that your value can be five times what it currently is, three times what it currently is, or 10 times what it currently is. Can you see that? Now, we can't look at value alone by itself and just say, oh, the price is five times, 10 times. What of the cost? Obviously, the cost of you doing that there may be some multiples to the cost as well. And I'm going to come to that because it's a bit complicated. I mean, if you go to like an amusement park, for instance, the same brand of item you will buy outside is three times there, maybe because the sellers or the retailers there have to pay more rent. Do you get what that is? They have to pay more rent. They may not sell as much as they would have sold outside, and so they need to put the price on top of that. So that's the cost. And when it comes to like your career as well, if you're working in a very highly pressured work environment, you're working for a very big organization, it may mean that you're working more hours, your work may be more intense, and you may be exposed to bigger clients that will require a lot more from you than someone who is just working for a mid-sized organization or a very small sized organization. Do you get where that costs and value where they're coming from? Yeah, exactly. So this is where I am going for you. Your value can 5x, can 3x, can 10x just by working for the right employer. Yes, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going with this. And I want you to think about this very deeply. It's like you working for a world class organization versus working for a local organization. Like, there are two different things, because what you'll be exposed to are two different things, and how the market is going to respond to you, to your CV, to you generally, to the opportunities you're able to have, will also be different. There is also the aspect of, you could actually be in an environment where it is not always the positive. There can also be a negative, where you as a person, your value is not just the factual value we can see now, the things you can do right now. It is also your potential value. Like, if they put you in the right kind of environment, what will you be able to churn out? That is your potential value. So or your inherent value. So when we take your potential value plus the actual value we can see now, that gives you your total value package, right? That is who you are, your total value package. Now, if you're working it wrong, or if you're working in an environment that does not give you the exposure that you need, it means that that environment will not only be exerting their value on you, which will not necessarily 2x or 1.5x, but it may also be hurting you in the long run, because your potential value will not come to the surface because you're not given the right opportunities to emerge. Does that make sense? So you're not given the right opportunities to emerge. And I want you to think about it really. You have control over the kind of organizations you choose to work with. You can be like, but these organizations are not even giving me the opportunities that I need to join them and all of that. You can work your way there depending on what this organization is. If it is top of mind for you, if you put it as a main goal, and if you take massive action towards it, you will get it. Okay, if you put in your mind towards it, you will get it. The only thing is, a lot of people maybe feel like they don't deserve to work in some organizations. And I'm not praising any organization, because your dream organization that can really exert the most value on you may even be a medium-sized organization. So you need to go and do the assessment and know which organization gives you the very best in your career. It doesn't need to be the biggest of the biggest of the biggest. I'm just saying to you that you need to be in the right environment. Recently, I made a post where someone said to me that they've been working for years and years now, and they've never seen in that organization where people have been allowed to speak their mind or share their opinions. Instead, they've been shut down. That kind of organization is going to have negative impact on your value. If not on the actual value, definitely on your potential value. Because if you do not feel like you can share your thoughts and your ideas and your opinions about trending issues, even when you live there and go to the right environment, you will not see the need to do that. And then you will not grow. You will not be able to grow your confidence, because that's going to impact your confidence, and it's also going to impact your ability to analyze trending issues, which is very important, especially if you're trying to become a leader at some point in your career. So it is important that you pay attention to your environment. It's very key. It's very important. Also, for those that are into businesses and the rest, you also want to understand the kind of people that you're working with, the kind of environment first that you are building. Is it the kind of environment that once people come into it, they become better, they learn a lot, they become so much better that by the time they go back into the job market, people are just basically just trying to snatch them away because of how important they have become. Also, the kind of people you work with, the kind of people you collaborate with, the kind of businesses that you get, is that exerting positive value on you, or is it taking away from you? Now, environment is not only in your career. Also, in terms of your physical location, where you are located has a lot of impact on you as well. You need to understand the ramification. It can be between states, it can be you based in a particular state, the kind of value your career is going to get or your business is going to get versus being in another state. For instance, if you are in a business oriented city, for instance, if you're in a business oriented city, it's just it just makes more sense for you to get more customers and for the opportunities to be quite unlimited, if you work hard at it, and the opportunities to be much more than if you are in a countryside, for instance. It's the same thing. That's where I'm kind of getting at. So you must continue to analyze and say, okay, in what was this environment doing for me? And it's not just in your career, on your business, even in your marriage. You can create an environment that by itself adds a lot of value to you, to your partner, to your kids. You can also create environments where you can thrive, and it can give room for your potential value to come to the surface. Yeah, I think that's it. Quite a mix of bits and pieces. I was just thinking about this, and I thought to put it out there. So I hope you've been able to learn one or two things. And if you think and you know for real that your environment is not helping you emerge, or your environment is supporting you to emerge, it's time to take action. Okay, it's time to take action. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.